Brooklyn's big three securing the bag. Kevin Durant already got paid, signing a reported 4-year, $198 million contract extension. And now the Nets fully expect to have all of their big three signed to contract extensions before training camp even starts. General manager Sean Marks said as much Wednesday before their summer league game against the Bucks. Kevin Durant already has been extended, and Marks confirmed long-term deals for the Nets' other superstars, James Harden and Kyrie Irving, shouldn't be far off either. All right, so Max, everybody's getting paid before the start of the season. Tell me this, which member of the Nets' big three is under the most pressure then?
Easily Kevin Durant. I'd say
What?
Kevin Durant. Easily Kevin
He's
Durant.
like the only one I'd say who isn't under
and in
pressure.
fact, I would say he's the most in the NBA by far. You see, Kevin Durant,
Oh my
all
God.
you have to do is imagine he's LeBron James. That's all you got to do. Kevin Durant is considered by many, maybe even most at this moment, the best player in basketball. He has a squad with him that will be, unquestionably, if all healthy, far and away, the greatest offense in the history of American team sports. Now, I was skeptical when they first put it together because I thought, yeah, but it'll be the worst defense ever, right? Stephen A., within a couple of weeks, they were kind of a mid-pack defense when those guys started getting healthy.
You didn't seem to notice.
That's all it's going to take for them to crush everyone. They were mopping the floor with the eventual champion Bucks, 2 of the big 3. So what does this mean? It means that KD, the best player in the world, if everyone's healthy, must win the chip. Must. There is a lot of downside. There's upside in surrounding yourself with a super duper duper team like KD did, because you can win the championship. And whether people think you stack the deck or not, they start thinking of you differently. He didn't used to be called the best player in the world until he won championships, and he won them on a team that couldn't lose a championship. So there's upside. But there's also danger. There is downside, because you are not allowed to lose. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. KD is wearing the crown. He will get the credit. He will get the blame.
You're insane. Absolutely insane. He's not going to get the blame. This is a brother that had missed 18 months, the torn Achilles, comes back, and let me make sure I got his numbers right here. What did he average? He averaged 26.9 points per game, okay, on 45% shooting from three-point range, 53% shooting, with James Harden clearly hobbled and a shell of himself, and Kyrie Irving out. This brother dropped 49 when I promised y'all he'd give you a fee. He dropped 50. He dropped 49 in the game 5.
Well, you need more accurate predictions.
This brother is such a superstar basketball player. Just one goal, brought home gold for Team USA because we know he took over, okay? European rules and all of this other stuff, Olympic rules. He said, the hell with that. I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am? You know who I am. That's what he did, okay? That's what he did. And here's the deal. When you look at James Harden, if you want to sit up there and talk about KD and it's on him because he's responsible for bringing everybody together, remember, Steve Nash ain't the coach if Kevin Durant doesn't approve, and James Harden and Kyrie ain't there if Kevin Durant doesn't approve. If that was the reason you were saying it, I get it. But in terms of just his game, everybody knows how surreal that brother is. The pressure is on James Harden and Kyrie Irving, okay? James Harden, love James Harden. But remember, he wanted out of Houston. They originally told him no. What does he do? He comes in, he's out of shape. He's not ready, even though he still could do things, even though he was out of shape and just a shell of himself. He wasn't himself. We know that. Kyrie Irving, head case, not to say that, and I don't mean that in the negative way, like the brother is doing big things off the court and engaging in a level of philanthropy that we should all applaud. But his mind being primarily on the game of basketball is always going to be a question mark for us watching him, particularly during the regular season, because during the postseason, he's usually ready, okay? In the end, we're all looking at them two. We ain't looking at Kevin Durant. We ain't worried about Kevin Durant. We know what we gonna get from him. It's the other two. And you yourself said, Max Kellerman, for years, James Harden, he played smaller in the postseason than he did in the regular season, and pressure's on him. So I don't know how you could come up with Kevin Durant now when James Harden is his teammate. Because this is KD's team. History will record this. If they win,
as him being the best player on a championship team. If they lose, it's KD's Nets that lost when they had no chance to lose if they were healthy. If they somehow lose, it's on KD.
Yep.
And if not, if we're saying not, then we all have to acknowledge that there is a different standard for LeBron.
It is
if you're
a different
saying there's a different standard, then you should just admit LeBron's still the best player in the game.
No, I'm not going to admit that because I know what the hell I'm watching. But what I'm saying to you is this, Max, because LeBron is bigger than just the game of basketball. Kevin Durant wants to hoop all day, every day, even though he's got 35 ventures and he's doing a lot of things in the business world. He's really just a hoop. He's really perceived as just a hooper. LeBron James is an iconic figure that's viewed as transcending the sport. And more importantly, with Kyrie and James Harden, because they are who they are. We don't ignore them. They don't fly under anybody's radar. They're that big themselves.
LeBron is
That's
expected
the issue.
every time he has a chance to win the championship. If LeBron was on an unbeatable super team, and once it was perceived he was, first year in Miami, he never heard the end of it. It wasn't Wade, it wasn't Bosh, it was LeBron who never heard the end of it. And this team has a chance to be much better than that Miami team. KD will never hear the end of it.
That would be because of what LeBron brought on himself, with all due respect. The number on the jersey he chose to wear, the fact that he arrived in Miami and before playing the game, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Those kind of things is what brought that extra attention on him. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just his game. It was the things he said.
KD, if he's on LeBron's level, I want to see him held to the same standard.
Okay, I don't mind that.
Here's what I want to see, gentlemen.
That expectation.
This is what I want to see. There's 72 games in the regular season, right?
No, that was last year. I think it goes back to
last year, 72, right? 82 normal. They played together 14 games, including the playoffs. I just want to see these three play together.
No doubt.
Right? We got cheated.
No, it's Russell Westbrook. Let me say this. I want to state for the record that Kevin Durant has absolutely no love for me whatsoever. None. I'm convinced of it. Even though I'm cool with the brother, I'm convinced of it. Because I was just on First Take. What was it, Friday, Max? And I was talking about my dreams. I was talking about how I was in La La, and I get to fantasize. I get to dream. I get to do all of these things. I'm out here. I'm getting ready to tape some episodes for Blackish, okay? Because I'm going to appear on Blackish, all right?
Don't just slide that in. Step in your game up even more. Okay, espn, go on with your bad self.
As Brick or as Stephen A. Smith? Hold on, which alias?
Goodness.
No, it's no alias. I'm going to be Stephen A. I'm going to be Stephen A. from
my
Blackish.
God.
You know, my brother Anthony Anderson
karma.
and Tracy Ellis Ross and the crew, the great Lawrence Fishburne, and everybody else. I mean, what a fabulous show. So I'm looking forward to appearing on them someday in the near future. But I'm taping some episodes today. Here's the bottom line. What I'm saying is I came on here Friday, and I said to Max Kellerman, I'm allowed to dream. I'm allowed to fantasize. I'm allowed to do those things. And I'm fantasizing about Kevin Durant. Keep your eye. Will he sign that extension? Because if he doesn't, you understand? And 2 hours later from Tokyo, he agrees. He agrees that he's going to stay in Brooklyn. I mean, there's just no love for me whatsoever.
That's a Knicks fan. Everything you say about Cowboys fans nauseating.
I didn't report it as news.
We'll get into that.
I didn't report it as news. I was just talking about what I was fantasizing about, what I was watching, and damn, you could have let it last through the weekend. He needed that 2 hours later. I mean, damn. But I would tell you this. I would tell you this in all seriousness. I say this, and I've said this before. No matter what level of pressure Kevin Durant is under, he's a 2-time NBA champion. He's now a 3-time gold medalist. He's all of those things. When you think about Russell Westbrook, it really comes. He's so great, but he's been out of the first round in 4 of the last 5 years. And when you look at it from that perspective, to now be playing with LeBron, which brings its own level of pressure, and AD, Anthony Davis, if you're Russell Westbrook and you go to LA and y'all can't find a way to close the deal, a lot of people's going to look at that. Now, you can sit up there and say, well, they'll look at LeBron, but I will remind you LeBron's a 4-time champion. LeBron's a 4-time champion who's been to 10 NBA finals. So if the Lakers don't advance to the finals, it's not like you're looking at LeBron James, who, by the way, is 36 years of age. You know, Russell's 32. He's gonna pick up the pace because the Lakers were a slow team. They damn sure ain't gonna be slow with him on the court. We know how electrifying he is as a player. He's absolutely unstoppable. He's a walking triple-double. The question is going to be, are you going to be that piece that can take the Lakers over the hump in a Western Conference that's got at least 6 potential title